Welcome back. We are your beautiful host. I am Jessica.
What's up, boo-boos? I'm Brittany Fontanez.
And as always, you are listening to the bomb.com Mystifying Reality podcast, where it's at, where it's always been at. And if you're new here, welcome. Where have you been?
Only love. Yeah,
Yes,
where have
only
you
love.
been? So glad you're here. Stay here. You're going to like it anyways.
Welcome. Exactly. So, this week we are going to talk about a great topic, a topic that I love to talk about. That makes people uncomfortable, makes people mad,
Yes.
and makes me just fucking happy. We are going to talk about how negativity affects your life. I was being sarcastic, guys, just so you fucking know. But it's a topic that you're going to see. You're going to see what I mean. You're going to see what I mean.
So, I'm going to start it off. And here's one thing I want to share with you guys. That we need negativity just as much as we need positivity. Let's clarify that. We live in a world
ready to hear that.
You weren't, but you're going to get it anyways. Understand. There's as above, so below. There's good and there's bad. There's ebbs and there's flow. So
Yin yang.
exactly. Negativity is just important as positivity. But here's the thing I want to clarify when it comes to facing the negativity that affects your life. Positivity, a lot of people are not ready for this. Positivity, it's not about always being joyful and uplifted. That's where we can bypass negativity with toxic positivity, noticing what's on the surface but not willing to face it. So, but real positivity is what I want to clear with you guys. Yes, because like, oh shit.
She's coming at my boyfriend real hard right now. Sorry.
I'm telling you, I come after myself, so I'm gonna come after some people too. But
He's
I want
a
you guys to
Capricorn.
understand. Yeah, I'm a Capricorn too, but
that's why. Okay.
But positivity does not mean you're always joyful and uplifting. Positivity really means that you have the power to see the contradictory energy or whatever is in front of you, the situation, and see it as a blessing rather than trying to destroy or dismantle you. That's real positivity. And I'm saying this because when negativity affects your life, it's here for a reason to get you to the state of positivity. So we all have negative moments in our life. How we're going to pay our bills, how we're going to stop worrying, how am I going to get healthy, how am I going to get food, how am I going to pay rent, how is anything all going to take care of itself? I get it. We live in a world full of apathy, full of problems, full of things that seem negative. But what's very important is that when you face negativity in your life, the reason why it affects you is because you're not willing to learn from it.
Yeah.
But when you can look at it and see how it's here for a reason, to see how it's showing you that you're exactly where you need to be because you need to learn something about what needs to change within you, that's when you start realizing negativity is for an advantage rather than looking at it as a disadvantage. So, yes, when negativity affects your world, it doesn't mean that you only deserve bad things or there's only such thing as suffering. It just means that something needs to go.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't believe that they're looked after or protected. We really are. We just don't see it with our physical eyes. But sometimes people leave our life. People do things to us. Things happen to us. A job fires us or lets us go for no reason. It's not because you deserved it. It's because there's something above you that's saying, I'm trying to push you towards something that is better for you. But you got to face some upheaval. You got to face some tower moments. You got to face some dark moments. Because there's something about you that needs to change and be put to rest in order to get to that next level of you. That's why they say new levels, new devils, plain and simple. Is because there's always going to be new level of problems, new levels of seeing the best attributes of yourself that you never thought you had within you. So I say all this for you guys to realize, do not fear negativity. Do not fear fear. If anything, allow it, embrace it, because the reason why negativity and fear are here is because it's here for us to overcome what we are avoiding. That's why I love when Selena Gomez said on her podcast with Jay Shetty, she's like, I love fear because fear is the reason why I could face all the things I'm afraid of. Plain and simple. So negativity affects your life for you to maybe get on your knees and pray, for you to maybe to have a breakdown, for you to maybe realize that you're burnt out because something needs to change. And I know a lot of people don't like change. We're comfortable, but here's the thing that's always forever changing: growth, our evolution, our society, our world, our body is always growing. We're not getting any younger. So the only thing that we have to flow with is the ebbs, is the tower moments, is the negativity, is the dark moments, because on the other side is everything that you want. So that was my TED talk, and I think it's time for Jessica to take the stage.
That's for real. That's like real facts. I think if we were meant to live a life of full positivity or just full good, then there would be that, because that's what we would be supposed to be living in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not, because there's a give and take. Just like magnets attract separately. That's why they say differences attract. That's why there's a yin and light. That's what yin and light, yin and yang. That's why there's light. Oh my God, I cannot talk. Light and darkness. I could not get that out. Because there is that give and take. That's what we're supposed to live, right? If you've noticed, life isn't always good, but life isn't always bad. It's either one or the other that comes right after each other. Hey,
It's
that's
a
a song.
rotation.
Yeah, it is.
That was good.
And you just have to kind of play along. It's a game. You just kind of have to hop on, understand your game, because let me tell you, we all have different games. I know that for me personally, I can give you examples. My positivity and negativity have played in part of me being such a control freak and having to let go of control and pushing myself to just release and just be okay with life. And I have had moments where, like, I fucking hated long distance because I felt like it was taken away from my relationship. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me,
Yeah,
sorry.
sure. That was so cute.
Thank you. I felt like it was taken away from my relationship, and we broke up twice because of it. And I thought that it was the end, but I needed that negativity to realize that there was more than just the distance. There needed to be work done between each other, for each other. And guess what? Now I am officially ending long relationship this Saturday. And I'm happy. And it's like everything happens for a reason. I can't pay a bill. I release it. I fight it. I no, wait, hold on. Before I release, I fight, I talk shit, I'm mad, I cry, whatever. And then I release it. And then guess what? The money comes to me.
Yeah, literally.
And it's just like you really have to learn. And now I'm learning, now I'm getting the hang of it. So the
Yeah.
universe is like,
It's a
bitch.
different feeling when you get a hang of it.
It's just, I feel empowered, and I know, like, it's true. It's true what Selena says. When I get scared or I'm uncomfortable and like pissed and cranky, I know some shit is about to go down. And now
Mhm.
it's more of not like I'm gonna fight it, but more of like, let me try and understand it. What am I supposed to learn?
Yeah.
So before it used to be like, why the fuck am I going through this? And now it's like, how? How am I supposed to get through it? What am I supposed to learn
Exactly.
from this? What am I supposed to take away from this? Because it's just that society thinking, like, you have to always be positive, and negativity is bad, and oh, I can turn something bad to good. But it's what you said, that there's a toxic positivity where you're not really doing anything if you're just taking that negativity and suppressing it and kind of
Yeah.
acting like everything is okay and forgetting about it, versus I'd rather you sit there and fucking take the pain and be going
Yeah.
crazy, because guess what? You will come out stronger on the other side. So I
Mhm.
need us to change that aspect of thinking. And this may be weird. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Britt, but I just feel like I talked out of my ass and I don't remember anything I said. So either somebody was meant to hear that, I made sense, or I didn't make sense. Can we confirm that?
You know you were saying. You knew what you
No,
were saying.
I went on a tangent and I lost my shit. I don't know
No,
what
it's
I.
okay. Sometimes we're channelers. Like
Wow.
we just pick up energy and it's needed for other people. Maybe we're not meant to remember because it's for others, you know?
That was not for me. I don't know who it was for, but I hope you caught it. Okay? Thank you.
Oh no, I did. You talk about how, positivity is not about suppressing negativity. Like I said, true positivity is about facing whatever is in front of you with curiosity rather
Yes.
than fear.
Yes.
And
Facts.
one thing I want to share with you guys, I know a lot of people are going to relate to this. When it comes to dreams and
Ooh.
desires, yeah, this is a big one. A lot of us have negative connotations on believing that we can't manifest, that we can't create the life that we want, that we can't believe in ourselves. And for a long time, I was like that for years, for years. I'm like,
Me
why is
too.
it my time is not here yet? Why is it that I don't have the abundance that I know I deserve? And that was my biggest source of negativity and apathy and sadness, putting so much pressure on myself and trying to act like I'm okay. And it got to the point literally I would say this past year, I finally have got the hang of that negative aspect. And
Proud of
what I
you.
did was thank you, instead of thinking like, oh, it's not coming or doubting, doubt doesn't even come to my mind. It doesn't even dare have the audacity to, because it knows like you don't have control over me anymore. I faced it. But now I'm at a point where it's like, instead of worrying about the recognition, the respect, the attention. Now I'm really realizing, what are my intentions in doing what I'm doing? Do I love doing it? Do I like doing it? Do I feel like I'm being of service? Do I feel like I'm doing it with pure intentions? Instead of turning it into something bad, I turned it around into something good. Instead of seeing the negative aspect of it, I'm seeing the optimistic aspect of it from the viewpoint of, it's not that I'm not getting what I want. I already have what I want, but am I truly embodying it now?
Yeah.
That's where the real truth has to come in. And I know a lot of us have negativity around our desires and our wants is because we think that it's impossible, or what's that word?
Like not.
Delusional.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's delusional to think that we deserve the best, but it's not delusional. What's delusional is thinking that you need to suffer and that's all you deserve. Delusional is thinking that, um, negativity is so bad, so I have to run from it and it will never show up if I keep running. No, if anything, you're going to make that monster even bigger and your battlefield is only going to get more bloody. Instead, you might as well just face it and allow yourself to feel it and allow yourself to understand it, because when you give yourself the opportunity to see, oh, what is this trying to teach me? How is it serving me? Where are you trying to guide me and lead me to? You give yourself an advantage to come up with more solutions rather than just looking at the problem. Because there's a perfect story I want to go by. So there's a coworker I have, and he gave me really good advice. And it's funny, days before he gave me this advice, I was already giving myself this advice. And he's like, Britt, I want to tell you something. When you always worry about money, you're only focused on problems. And he was like that for a long time until he had a friend who whipped out a wad of $100 bills and threw it on the table. And he said, I hate that shit. I'm not telling you guys to hate money, because money is not the root of all evil. Lack of money is the root of all
Yeah.
evil. Just want to clarify that. But I knew what he was getting at. His friend threw the money on the table and is like, I fucking hate that. But he's like, guess what? I have so much of it. And then my coworker told me that. He's like, Bray, I started doing that. I stopped wanting it. And then it just came to me. And I'm like, holy shit. And here's the crazy thing. Even though I already was telling myself that and feeling so content in my life with everything I had, and after he gave me that advice, I implemented it even more, to the point of, instead of thinking and feeling it, I really started to embody it. And then that weekend, I ended up having an old client reach back out to me and pay it on the spot. And we had a meeting the next day. And I'm like, that was the money I needed. I didn't need it. I didn't want it. And that's when it solved itself, because I was focusing on the solutions and focusing on the curiosity of what that lack mentality was trying to teach me. And therefore, I was able to allow it to come with ease rather than thinking I have to control everything. Because when negativity affects a lot, here's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Negativity affects your life because you're trying to control everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard because
Mm-hmm.
we live in a world where we feel like we have to be in control. That's the only way we gain power. But that's false power. Control is really you saying you fear trusting. So when you realize that negativity is actually a part of the process, you start look at a video game, for instance. When you're stuck at a level you can't beat, you have to find so many different cheat codes or solutions to get to the next level, right? That's kind of how you have to see life. Life is a game. You're observing it and playing it and finding solutions on how to beat it. So therefore you need those moments where you do get stuck. Because think about it this way, if we had all the solutions and everything was positive, there would be no point of our existence.
Yeah, why
There would
would be
be
here?
Exactly. There'll be no point of growing and evolving because we already know who we are. And you know how boring it'll be? It'll be pointless for Earth to be created for human beings. Let's just be real.
It would be ass. Yeah.
Exactly. So the reason why we have negativity and have these problems and have these limitations is because we're meant to learn something from them. I'm here to tell you guys, it took me a while to get out this mindset of like always looking at my pain as a solution, but now I've started to realize it's a blessing when things come crashing down. It's a blessing when people end up abandoning me and I don't have the clarification on it. It's a blessing when money just has to leave my life knowing that I just got it. It's a blessing because at the end of the day, the more I could face these circumstances and master how I want to feel about it, not in a way where the circumstances have control over me, but I have control over how I feel about the circumstance, then
Yeah.
that's when I realize I'm finding my empowerment to the point that when that keeps reoccurring in my life, eventually it's not going to happen because I have overcame it and found solutions to not allow it to happen. Negativity is hidden blessings in disguise to trying to teach you how to get out of that level.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm
Wow.
just yeah.
Wow. It's funny you mentioned that because I use that analogy with my boyfriend. Um, just because, not all of us are as, I don't want to say intellectual, but just, have the knowledge for certain things that others do. And it's really easy to put into someone's perspective what we mean. And I said that. I said, you know, when you're in a video game, you're a gamer, right? You love video games. When you get a new game, or even if it's not a new game, but you have a game that you haven't beat a level yet, you keep losing. What do? Oh, I keep playing until I win. And that's the way we have to see life, because it's not always going to be handed to you. You do have to put in the
Mhm.
work. And that's where a lot of this comes from. It's the stance of, I want to control everything because I want to get all I want. And some things, you can believe in whoever you believe. We've made it clear that we believe in God here. I I truly believe we were born and put onto this world with our path, with our journey already there. And I see negativity or anything bad happening as the right path to go towards our journey. That's
Yes.
versus, I'm not saying positivity isn't like that. That's just a bonus. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
it's like, I find that people who try to just stick to the positive and not see the negative for what it is and just make it into something that is not real are lacking a lot in life. And if anything, it makes us weaker because we're
Yes.
focusing on the wrong things and we're not really
Mhm.
in tune with what really needs to be in our minds right now. And so
Yes.
it's really important to change that connotation. Even the word positive and the word negative, I feel like, have such
Have
a,
bad connotations, yeah.
yeah. And it's like,
Mhm.
don't see it as that. Just see it as it's the
Mhm.
circle of life, right?
Mhm.
Lions have to eat other animals that you may want to protect, but guess what, in the
Yeah.
wild, that's what you do. There's predators and there's, you
Mhm.
know people at the top who can fuck everything up, but that's life. And we need to
Mhm.
stop like putting labels and connotations to shit and making others feel bad for being okay with the fact that not always is everything going to be okay. And I think that I
Sure.
personally am learning that myself right now. You know, it's really easy to be
Mhm.
like, I'm good when I'm good, but when I'm bad, I'm bad.
Yeah.
But what are you doing about it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can
Exactly.
sit and
Yeah.
mourn it. Yeah, whatever it is. I'm not saying don't fucking be human and have emotions, but I'm saying use that bad and make it good. Because you can do that.
Mhm.
That's how
Yeah.
you move forward. In the game of life, you know, you have to keep going forward until you win. That's just how it is. And what winning means so many different things for everybody. It's whatever your path is. You know,
Mhm.
it's just you got to keep going. You can't stay stagnant and you can't pretend like everything is good
Nothing's
and
going on.
rainbows
Yeah.
because that's bullshit.
Mhm.
And I am sorry, but I
It
don't
is.
like people like that. People,
I
but you
trust
know,
me.
some people rather do that. Rather, they have gone through so much shit in their life that they're like, life is great. I'm gonna fake it till I make it, and that only gets you so far. And you know why people do
Literally.
that? Because they're scared of going within. They're scared
Mhm.
of going through all that pain and all that struggle and all
They're
those
scared to
dumps
see
and
the
bumps.
enemy that they created inside.
Exactly. It's not easy,
Yeah.
trust me. Just like
It's
nobody
not.
wants to go through heartbreak. Nobody wants to
Mhm.
lose a friend. Nobody wants a family member or anyone you love to die.
No one wants to lose a home, you know?
Exactly. No one wants
Yeah.
to have their credit on the floor or have to sleep outside. No one wants that. We didn't ask for
Mhm.
that. But when you sit there and think, like, oh shit, I came from the bottom and look how far I've come, but it's all because of all the things that's happened to me instead of like, oh, I'm a nobody, you know, being the
Mhm.
Eeyore of Winnie the Pooh in
Wallowing.
life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's just,
Victimizing yourself.
it was cute
Yeah.
once, maybe. To me, it was never cute. Um, you just got to move forward. And it sounds
Yeah.
harsh and it sounds kind of mean and it sounds kind of like,
Mhm.
I don't care, but it's not
Yeah.
like that, you
It's not
know?
like
It's
that.
just,
It's like we have to realize we live in a coddle culture. Me and
yeah.
Yeska were talking about this, and everyone wants to be validated because of their poor behavior that they're refusing to take accountability for.
Hmm.
And when we continue to live this way, when we victimize ourselves and we say we want better, we're not taking accountability for how we entertain what has brought us to where we don't want to be.
Yep. Oof.
So it's vital to one, take accountability for what you've allowed to bring you where you are in your life currently. It's very important. But what's also important is that here's one thing I want to clarify, you guys. If things are going wrong, you're on the right path. Just letting you
Exactly.
know. I know that sounds crazy. I know that sounds weird, but here's the reason why. When things seem like they're going against you, they're actually working for you to find more empowerment that you have yet to unlock within yourself. A lot of us victimize ourselves and limit ourselves to the point we deplete our own spirits. And that's going to be our fault when we don't allow ourselves to keep going. Now, I'm not
Exactly.
saying to fake it to make it. I'm saying to grieve it, to feel
Exactly.
it, to allow it, accept it, but trust that you're more powerful than it. And when you can allow yourself to look at life that way, a lot of people always ask me, Britt, how you're so optimistic? Like, like they know I don't have much. I live with my mom. I work at a job. I have a business. It's not where I wanted to go, but I'm very content and at peace because here's why. It's because I'm not looking for things to make me happy. I choose to see the goodness of life and make it the happiest that it can be. And that's where, not because I see everything as a positive, I see as everything working for me rather than against me.
Mhm.
Because your belief system, your self concept, and what you choose to believe is that those are the results you're going to get. So if you doubt yourself, you're going to see more of that self doubt. If you believe that you can make something happen, you're going to see evidence of that. There's a there's a thing in your brain called the reticular activating system. I want you guys to do an exercise. Find something, like say for a heart. Every time you see a heart, I'm going to be like, wow, that's a confirmation. All I desire is coming to me. I guarantee you, if you keep telling yourself that, you're going to eventually see hearts everywhere. So that's how the mind works. The reticular activating system is something within your brain that's making you put your focus on what you are believing. So if you believe people are heartbreakers, you're going to keep attracting heartbreakers. But
Yeah.
if you believe there's good things happening for you, you're going to see miracles all around you. So I say this in a way where, you know, you got to get really, really honest with yourself. Because a lot of us, we say we want particular things, but we probably don't have pure intentions for them. Hence why they didn't come into our life when we wanted them to. That
Yeah.
means we got to get more clear on, is this really what I want? And then secondly, when things aren't going our way, what is it that we need to let go of that's not serving us? That's just
Mhm.
plain as day. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes a job fires us because maybe that was a toxic environment. Maybe that house, you needed to lose that house and not be able to pay your rent because maybe they were going to demolish it without even telling you, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Maybe, you know, your family not accepting you and loving you was leading you to people who are actually going to love and accept you, you know?
Yeah.
Or good example, when someone cheats on you, maybe you had to go through that heartbreak to realize what you needed to stop tolerating so you could get clear
Exactly.
on the type of person you really, really want, rather than waste your time on someone who's not giving you what you want. So I say all this stuff is because please look at negativity as a way to get more excited. And I
Yeah.
know this sounds weird. It
I know
sounds
it
really weird,
does.
but it sounds so contradicting and complex.
It.
But look at you when you could look at life like a child looks at life. You know when a child falls and they cry and they're like, "Oh my God, my life is ending," and all of a sudden, okay, I'm going back on my bike ride.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta look at life like that, you know? Like, for me, I taught myself how to ride a bike. I will never forget this. I remember one day, there was this neighbor I hung out with all the time. She just got a new bike. And I didn't know how to ride a bike, but I wanted to so bad. So that very morning, I literally was like, she showed me how to ride the bike. And she's like, okay, I'm leaving, but don't go anywhere. Just play in the parking lot. You guys, from that morning until dark, outside until it was literally bright to dark. I was on that bike and I kept falling and I kept falling and I kept going and I kept trying. And right when my mom yelled at me to go inside, that's when I finally rode the bike completely, perfectly. And it was because no matter how much I failed, no matter how much people don't believe in me, that's like my inspiration for myself. No matter how much things are against me, I'm still going to keep trying because that's where my power is. No matter how
Exactly.
many negative things are in my way, I'm still going to face it head on because that's telling myself that I have the power to choose what I want. So I say this for you guys with love as a hard pill to swallow. Realize where you have entertained things that brought you to where you don't want to be. Take accountability for that. But also look at the negativity as where is it trying to lead you?
Yeah.
Maybe maybe losing that job was for you to start your own business. Maybe for that relationship to leave was for you to realize, damn, I actually probably like being single. Like, you know, it's crazy. After my last relationship, when she left, I was a little heartbroken. Then, and I'm like, oh my God, I really wanted this peace for myself. Hallelujah. Like, I had to laugh at myself because I'm like, I'm trying to control all these things and I'm getting so upset that there's such contradiction and restrictions towards me. But then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't think I really want that. If I'm going to be honest, I don't really think I want that person. I don't really think I wanted that job or anything. So maybe this is not negativity. Maybe this is just an elevation
Mm-hmm.
for me, you know? So, yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
For real. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, it that's exactly what it is. I think we are just so used to hearing the word negative and just putting such a bad light to it. Let's try
Hmm.
this. Let's just try to make negativity your friend. Now, I'm not telling you to be
Yes.
out here talking to yourself negatively in a negative, wow.
Negative
This
way.
episode I
You
cannot
got
talk
it.
in a negative
Dictionary.
way. I'm not talking about, you know, taking all your fault and all that and turning it into a negative way. We're talking about life. We're talking about what happens to us, what we don't have control over. We're talking about releasing control. We're talking
Mhm.
about just letting go and trusting that
Mhm.
when shit hits the fan, I know people love to be like, "Oh my god, everything's going great." And then some people are like, "Shh, don't say that because as soon as you say that, something bad is going to happen." It's not about
Mhm.
running away from that. It's about like
Yeah.
bring it on because I know that
Let's
once that's
go.
over, what else is going to come? It's just like you have to fight for what you want. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's going to fucking hurt. But guess what? You're going to get it. If it's for you and that's what you truly want and deserve, you're always going to get it. But it's not going to be handed to you because that's
Yeah.
also not life. And that's what a lot of
Mhm.
people struggle with. They just kind of, if I want to
Mhm.
be a billionaire, I just want to wake up tomorrow and be a billionaire. That's not how it works. You got to put in the work. You have to go through shit.
Yeah.
You have to go
But
through
you could feel
hurdles,
it. You could
but you could
believe in it.
feel it. You could live
Yeah.
like you already are in it, and it
Mhm.
will come to you. And it's just it's
Mhm.
so funny to me because it's really not on our timing. It's on God's timing, and it's I keep
Mhm.
saying it because it's one of my favorite sayings. If you want God to laugh, tell him your plans. Because it's one thing
Yeah.
what we want and another thing what's meant for us. And we kind of just
Mhm.
have to learn. Like, I'm really proud of myself because I'm beginning to learn, like, I want that, but I felt it in my gut. It's not for me. So keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Or like, I'm about to get resistance. And why am I getting resistance? Because Jessica's trying to control the situation. But as soon as literally it comes out of my mouth, like, I'm done. I'm letting it go.
Yeah,
I
always.
get
That
it.
always happens
That
to me.
happened like last
Yeah.
week. I was supposed to move into another apartment. They told me my credit score was ass. It did not make sense. And what was bothering me was not that I didn't get the apartment, but that they had the audacity to tell me that my credit wasn't okay when I knew it was. And then guess what? I was like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. I guess I wasn't meant to move
Mhm.
right now. It is what it is. It's going to work out. It happened for a reason. I'm letting go.
Mhm.
They're like, "Oh no, they all use an old system. We have a new system. Like, I think that you should apply again, blah, 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 blah." But then that's
It
when I
was for
took
a
my
reason.
power. Exactly. And I learned. And what's even crazier is that that morning I was talking to God and I said, you know what? Right now I'm confused as to what I want for my life and where I'm heading. I know that I want to
Mhm.
be a wonderful mom and I want a beautiful family. But I think one of my personal main goals is to bring down my debt. So how funny is it that as soon as I say bring down my debt, this new opportunity of spending more money in an apartment comes to me? It was a test, obviously, of
Yeah.
you want to bring down your debt? Are you going to tell us? Are you going to tell us that you're going to go pay more money or are you going to stay where you are and save more money? Of course, I was like, I'm going to
Exactly.
stay. And those are also
Mhm.
moments of life that you need to pay attention to. And it's like
Yeah.
wild. Like it's really, it feels kind
Mhm.
of
I love
very
that.
empowering when you pay attention to these things.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
true.
like, it's having these healthy relationships, even with things that make us uncomfortable, because not everything is going to make you happy
Yes.
or feel good, but it's about being like, okay, I'm going to fall and I'm going to get back up and we're going to try it again. One day at a time, even 1 hour at a time if you need to, but never
Exactly.
use negativity in its form, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I love that you brought that up about your story because that that really does resonate with what happened to me like 3 weeks ago. Like where I had that feeling come up of like I wanted to give up on my YouTube channel.
Oh
And
no.
I had all these thoughts. This happens every now and then. And I caught the pattern. And I was like, I'm waiting, I'm patient, like it's my success is not here. And I literally just like smacked my hands on my lap and I'm like, do I really want that though? Is that what I really want? And you know what's crazy? You know what hit me? It's like I want these things that other people have that I feel like I deserve more than them. But here's the crazy thing. Those people don't have the inner peace that I have. They have
Ooh,
everything materialistically, but they don't have that inner peace. And let me tell you guys, that was the first time I've ever really forgave myself and gave myself a really big apology. And I cried and I'm like, damn, I already have everything I want. I don't even want it. It's like when you get that new car and you're so excited about it and then you get used to it and you're like, I already got it. It was like that.
exactly.
It
Yeah.
was like I already have the money, I have the career, I have the relationship, I have the house. I'm like, I don't even want it. I felt like I already had it. And in that moment, everything, my actions, how I walked, how I talked, how I was eating was becoming more intentional, because that moment of feeling that negativity has brought me to a state of clarity of realizing I need to be the embodiment of it. So how do I feel
Mm-hmm.
now? How do I want to express myself? And now it's to the point that all my ideas, my YouTube video ideas, were getting so much better. My communication is getting so much stronger. I'm really mastering my craft. And it got to the point where I was like, damn, I didn't care about the views or the subscribers anymore. I cared about, what am I putting into it? What are my
Exactly.
intentions? How do I feel? Do I feel like it's really serving? And that was bringing the fun back into what I love doing, rather than trying to be the dictator and the controller of how
Mm-hmm.
it's all going to come to me. So I uh I feel like me and Jessica share these stories to let you know that, negativity is not because you don't deserve what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Negativity happens so you could get clear on what it is you really want, and realizing, well, you need to step out your own way and allow
Exactly.
a higher power to take control. Because here's the thing, the only thing we control is how we think, how we feel, and how we act. Other than that, we can't control anything outside of us. So we
Mm-hmm.
might as well stop putting so much pressure on ourselves. We might as well stop thinking that, life is tough. Well, life is not tough. You're making it tough. We need to
Mm-hmm.
look at life as like, we're not playing the video game and the video game's not playing us. We're just watching the game play out.
Exactly.
Like we are the ones who created the game. So therefore we don't have to play it. So just let it be. So, but that was my
Oof.
TED talk.
That was a great way to end it. I think that
Uh,
was can't top that. Watch the game play out, people. Don't try to
yeah.
win. Don't try to lose. Don't try to control. Don't try to see. Don't try to peek. Don't try to cheat.
Don't try to
Just
label.
go with the fucking flow. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So now you know that's our input. Hopefully you guys can resonate or you took something out of it. Thank you for listening. As we always say, you can email us and talk to us, give us ideas or ask for advice at mystifyingrealitypodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Mystifying Reality Podcast at Instagram. There you will find our handles for our personal pages as well. Follow Britt on her YouTube. And
Yeah.
thank you for always being a part of our journey. We do this because we like it. We may not necessarily always want to do it, but we do it because we care. And as soon as we do it, we are happy. So that's all that matters. And like Brittany always says,
Only love.
only love. I'm going to make a song, I swear, every time. Every time.
Let's do
Thank you guys for listening. See you next week.
it. Deuces.